at least the last year during like this whole pandemic, like how have you been dealing with like yourself, your spirit, your health?
I've been working out a whole bunch. Like I can't not say it hasn't helped in many ways. Like me focusing on me, but then having to go back to work, it being consistent, and then screwing it all up. But
Like something throws you off of your routine or anything like that?
Yeah, because you're so used to waking up, going, working out, like work out at home because there's no gyms, no nothing, but then go and figure out other stuff to do. But now you got to go back to work, and then work isn't enough. But this whole time during the epidemic, you thinking like, I have to do something with my life, and still you went back to your other job. Like that's where level head, like it's not something I really thought I was gonna be at.
You thought like you would be somewhere else is what you mean?
Yeah.
So I talk about this with everybody, that everybody has like a good amount of time to reflect on themselves and their life, which is what like you were mentioning, you know, like figuring out like, okay, I'm doing this, I want to do this, but I have to go back to work, and just kind of like realizing what it is that you truly want to do, which prior to starting recording, it's safe to say that it's photography.
Yeah, by far. Animals.
Yeah. And specifically like photography with animals, or like, would you consider that like nature photography, or is just like
wildlife nature?
Wildlife nature, okay. And how long, like when did you start doing it like seriously? Because as I mentioned, you know, in high school, I always saw you with the camera, but it was kind of like taking pictures of people, just bringing it around. And like now, following your Instagram page, dude, you have like owls, all these birds, alligators. Like it's just skyrocketed, I think, in the quality, and also just in like, that's all your feed consists of. And I can feel like that you're extremely passionate about it.
Yeah, passionate about wildlife in general. It doesn't matter what kind of animals, just find more birds than bears. So is where all the birds come into play. But when it comes down to like just thinking about nature, going out, doing something else other than being around people is way better. But also got me into the animals. You saw me with journalism.
Yeah.
Journalism.
We both took principles of journalism freshman year of high school with Mr. Niepert. Shout out Mr. Niepert. And like the fact that we were both in that class, and then like years later, I end up working for, you know, a news station. You're doing like photography for wildlife. Like I just think that that's ironic. And during that moment in freshman year, at least I was like, when am I ever going to do anything with this? Like, I'm here because it's an elective and whatever.
I like the picture aspect, like just being able to have a camera and go out and do whatever, like capturing moments. That's my thing.
Yeah.
It's like, I was telling my girl at the time, it's not where the animals are, it's where they were, because they're always going to come back to the same spot. So like anything, like when I go out, I know where they are. Mm-hmm. Just doesn't matter where they are going, just have to go to the same spot, they'll
usually come back.
Yeah, just insane how they can always be at the same spot, same time every day, but always gone at the same time every day.
Yeah.
It just makes no sense.
What has been like the most like craziest sighting that you've had?
Coyote.
And where was that?
Coyote was in Sanibel.
How close were you to it?
I was 10 feet.
Damn.
And he popped up out of nowhere, and I was just...
Yeah, your reaction was like, what do I do?
Because I always say I want to see a bear, and I saw a bear too, but it was just how it aligned. I'm walking casually, and I look, and it's a coyote, and just stares up, glances, admires me, goes, and he just walks away, not even scared, not nothing. Like, but that moment, you're just like, ooh. Yeah, and that's what's better than like people photos. I'm just stupid for wanting people not doing people photos, because I'm capable of scenery, landscape, portraits, everything. I'm really good at like all the way around with photography, but is that what I really want? No.
You want to like challenge yourself.
Yeah, I want a bird in flight. I don't want no person with
Just
glitter behind them and
smiling.
stuff. Of course, yeah, it's a dope photo and it's great you captured it, but is that really something I want to say? In a way, yeah, because it comes down to money, because I haven't gotten paid for photography for wildlife. I've sold 4 photos, $60 a piece. That's all right, but where's the real money in that? It's $240. $240 as in, it's not life changing.
Yeah.
But being able to be consistent and able to have like somebody, this guy Tim Manley, and this guy can sell a photo for X amount of money. And again, it comes down to money, yes, that it can be in the long term, but as of right now and forever will be with the wildlife is, I'm not gonna stop it. There's no way. I just told myself last month I'm a hypocrite. I said I'm gonna stop doing animals and start doing people.
Yeah, to get some gigs or anything.
Yeah, but I went out and I didn't do people. I did 2 people, and then the photos are like awesome, but
it's not exciting.
Yeah, no.
For you, it's not exciting, and I think like, yeah, perhaps chasing wildlife that gives you kind of this exhilarating feeling of, something that you're not gonna obviously find taking headshots.
Yeah.
Tell me about the time when you came across a bear though.
Bear? Oh, I went for them. I went to North Carolina, drove all the way there by myself overnight, stayed the night, stayed in the car, and then I knew exactly where the bears were going to be. I was only there for 2 days just to get the shot of the bear, and then I found the bears, and that's why I was looking for the bears. That's why I say coyote was more special.
Yeah, because it just came out of nowhere.
That thing will screw you up. Like,
yeah.
That's a terrifying looking pup. Like,
what else are you looking to shoot moving forward? Like, I know that you are constantly, like, I always say, dude, you need to go for National Geographic, and I know that's your goal. Like, that is I wouldn't say that that's the end goal, no, though, because
no,
what is the end goal?
Yeah.
With anybody or with anything. We're never satisfied with anything in life,
No, you always want better. That's my thing as well right now, wanting better. So just like how you said, like what's made me different from when I was younger and like starting off and I was doing drugs or drinking and whatever else. Like I come down to the conclusion, like I don't really need to do that. First off, I'm an aggressive person when I drink and do stuff. That's one. But secondly, why? When I can just, not like I coped with wildlife. This is why I stopped doing X amount of things in my life or stop being crazy. It's just because first off, grow the fuck up. Secondly is I just like the wildlife. That's what it is. But also better for me as a person and having a girlfriend and being a better man for myself is why I stopped doing my stuff.
I wonder if you find yourself in that position where like you feel like a sense of peace whenever you're out like taking photos. The patience also that you have to have for all of that and endure is ridiculous, but like do you still find yourself, like you said, 2 days you were there like
I knew what I needed to get. I had the 2 days. I was working at this little place or whatever, waiting for quarantine to be over to have my full-time job back. Full-time job called. I was like, all right, sick. And anytime I go and hit the forest, hit something, see something, I'm a good driver, but I can scare people because I'll be staring outside the window, looking my peripheral at everything happening in front of me, but I'm looking for things the whole time. Like, it doesn't matter where or how I am. Like, I just go and I find things. People are like, how the hell did you find a frog eating a bird? Like, I don't know. We'll just look for it.
You're observant.
Yeah, you just gotta look for it.
You don't know what's really in front of you, like unless you're like looking for it also too,
You gotta look for shapes, shadows, and everything. And that's where I've come up to the conclusion, like, this shit is way more cool, or way cooler than people. Way cool. Like, landscapes is where it's at too, though. If you can't appreciate nature, like, you're crazy. If you don't think like, this is dope, this is how it should be, this is my way. And that's the other thing about photography with me. It's my way, and no one else can tell me nothing.
Exactly. Like, it's what you see. It's your eye.
Yeah. So
where would you want to go? Like that you like.
Next week I'm going to Colorado.
Colorado. Have you've been though before, right?
I've been once.
Once.
But this time it's longer, and it's my birthday, and I'm gonna find a bear.
Nice.
And a bison, and a mountain goat, and a golden eagle. Mark my words.
There you go. I don't doubt it for a second. What about outside of the U.S.? Like whenever, you know, we can travel internationally, is there somewhere that you've just been like...
Komodo Island.
Wow.
Komodo Island. They have this pit viper that's dope. They have the Komodo dragons, and then they have different birds that no one else has.
Yeah. I've always thought of like the Galapagos islands. Like that has been some place that I would love to go. Not necessarily for pictures, but because of similar reason. Like they have pretty unique animals over there. I think that's where they have like the biggest tortoise or something.
Yeah.
And they have like those birds with like the blue the blue feet or whatever. I don't know. I'm like, what? Why does
Galapagos?
The Galapagos Island.
It's just called like
just the name. Like I want to go. You know.
By far. Yeah. No, but like that'd be. I've thought about the Galapagos. I would love to do underwater photography. It's just pricey.
Yeah.
I have expensive gear, but that's a whole new world. But I can't. I have 2 days off a week.
Yeah.
Got to go to the ocean and
get a boat.
Gotta go out far
you make sure
enough
you have
so
someone
it's clear.
with you too, because shoot.
Yeah. No way.
I don't know how to.
But
drive
like
a boat.
even I would have to leave. I have Monday, Tuesdays off, so I'd leave Sunday. What I usually do is if I go to Miami or like going south, I leave the night of Sunday, get there, so I have Monday, Tuesday come back, and that's how I do things. But underwater photography would be a whole new world. I was like, I need to leave at 5 o'clock on Sunday, get there, not even have a hotel, sleep on the boat, drift off somewhere. Hopefully it gets me clear in the day, and then.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, no. It's not a thing.
I would love to see a great white shark in person. Like,
I would. I have a friend Jordan. He loves great whites, and
would you do like the cage thing? Like,
yes,
man, I don't.
absolutely, 110%.
I don't know about that. I mean,
would you go skydiving? I've been 4 times.
You've been skydiving. You've gone skydiving 4 times.
Yeah, but I don't. I would say like I think a great white shark is scarier than skydiving.
I mean, well, yeah,
it's both death.
Because, well, like skydiving, I feel like you have a less chance of dying because, like, that's a thing that people do, like, you know, like all the time, and then you have someone with you also, like a great white, like if you're just out in the ocean, like minding your own business.
Yeah, no, they're absolutely not. No,
that could go either way, and but they're so fascinating. Yeah, anything like all marine life, it's incredibly fascinating.
It's dope. Every last person who does underwater photography, first off, has balls. Secondly, they're dope. Like, cause they're cool. Like, you can't say a clownfish underwater isn't cool. Like, let alone you get it in focus, perfect, clear background, or blurred background with some bokeh in it or something like.
Yeah. That's
a sex photo. Like that's an ideal photo.
Jeez, man.
Think about your rule of thirds and everything. Like
all that
I
stuff.
couldn't even think about my rule of thirds underwater. Like I'd be like,
I'm like focusing on breathing to make sure that my tank doesn't freaking run out or something.
And you're thinking about it's cool. Like in all honesty, everything about it is awesome, and that'd be the next step with it. But I need to kick off with actually selling my photos more. That's where I go and say I can. Everybody says you can. Start doing dog photos for people, pets and stuff. Like, yeah, and then I don't do it. So that's also my fault. That's my growth isn't going to go if I don't do anything with it besides take photos and think the hashtags and tagging things are going to be the best thing because you have to broaden everything.
I think social media is one of the best ways to continue to like see growth. And I mean, like I've seen the growth too, like, you know, with you getting more followers and like the likes on your photos. I remember even like I think tagging National Geographic in one of them. I'm like, when is this gonna happen? Like, you know,
I was stoked that day.
But like, and I'm not the only one that thinks that, you know, as you said, like other people say that you can do it and all that stuff. Like, you know, like you have a support system, and it's challenging for us to take that leap of faith of whatever it looks like, because it could look like anything. I never tell people like, yo, quit your job, because that's reckless. There are different ways for people to really pursue like what they really want, and it all just depends on what works for them and what they're willing to like sacrifice too. Like whether it's time, I mean that's really the biggest thing, to be honest. Like time, like how much time am I spending with my friends or with my relationship, or am I just relaxing at home and like taking it easy, you know, watching a show or whatever. Like I remember 2 occasions where like this kind of revelation like slapped me in the face. And one of them had to do with money, because I was thinking about investing on new equipment like the second camera and all that stuff. I was like, damn, I don't want to spend like 500 da 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 da. And then my mom like overheard me, and I'm looking at like Amazon, BH, all those websites, like trying to figure out a good deal. And I'm a big fan of this Japanese restaurant, Kabuki. And it's
Kabuki.
Yeah, it's freaking expensive.
Where is it?
It's on East Colonial. And they
Kabuki.
also have another one called on Sand Lake.
Kabuki. Okay.
Yeah. It's good.
I'll go.
It's amazing. It's just expensive. And so my mom like overheard me talking about the money stuff, and she was like, yeah, but you went there twice like within a month. And I was like, oh, like you coming and attacking me right now. And I was like, you're right. I should
anything for Kabuki.
Yeah, right. Honestly. And if I'm willing to throw down money on food, which I always am, because I love good food, I should be willing to throw down money to invest in myself and in my project, in my product. Like, you know, I would just be walking around with one camera or something. Like, let me get the second camera. Let me get the mic audio, like, interface to, like, be able to record good audio, all that stuff. And then another time, also, ironically, where it had to do with time, I think I was watching, like, a show. I was watching a cartoon, like I don't know if you heard the show Invincible.
I have.
On Amazon.
I just haven't seen it.
Yeah, everybody was raving about it, and like I started watching it with my friend, and then like I finished like the season like that same night. Like I binged watched it, and I was like, what is wrong with me? Like if I have the time to do this, like I have the time to like edit, I have the time to work on my product and my project, you know, like I have time to do other things instead of like sleeping in because I stood up late to watch a show. Like that's bullshit, you know?
Yeah.
So all those things, all like the sacrifice can entail so many different things, essentially time, but like you are gonna know what you can give and take also. Only you will know. But sometimes it's challenging for us to really like go a little bit above and beyond, but sometimes we go above and beyond for other people. We got to be able to go above and beyond for ourselves. And that's the biggest like takeaway that I think everybody's been realizing this whole year, because it's so quick to see like people being furloughed, people losing their jobs, you know, people in their mental state, like, you know, not doing well and like having to like nurture communities of friends, and it's like, wait, but what about me? Like I'm not even doing well. Like I'm out here taking care of X, Y, and B and blah blah blah. You know, all these people, and that's good. Like people need to come in community together, but also like know when you can kind of like limit yourself to the point where as long as you're good first, then you can do all those other things. But yeah, that's my little tangent.
It's totally fine. I think the whole time as well like made people more ambitious in a way. I feel like this day and age, especially with everything going on, like they want, just like me, and like I'm not the only person I've ever talked to, or like I've talked to other people who have the same thought process as me. Is like they thought when during quarantine, the 6 months or whatever, like we were all out doing everything. Like I'm not going back to that damn job. You go back to the damn job and then you're still doing. Like I have passion in voice photography. I need to be able to take it off. But like I said, yeah, I would spend more time with my girl or spend more time taking photos, but not really doing anything with them. But I also find it's an investment to me in a way, because it's what makes me better, me going out all the time. But that's also been another problem, is working a whole bunch, but then what do you have to show for it? Mm-hmm. I have no photos. I haven't posted in a week. I haven't this, and then you're like, but I still got bills to pay and I got this to do, so let me hold off on this. Time's still going. How long am I gonna go that it's still going and haven't done the same thing, but still stuck inside the same job that is not gonna really get me anywhere in my life? Like,
yeah,
in all honesty, like, yeah, I could say I want to do food management, like, or do this and that, but who the hell really wants to work 60 hours a week and then have a house that you only sleep in because you're 2 days off? You're not going to really want to be home, or at least me. And then what?
No, I completely agree with that.
So let me buy a house. Let me have a girl. Let me have a kid that I'm going to see 25 hours a week or less.
Yeah, because
5 of them are when I'm staring at them while I'm sleeping, or while they're sleeping, because I'm like, damn. And then you're gonna think again, like, okay, so what else is there to actually do besides waste more time?
Mm-hmm.
So screw it. Like, I need to figure that out. That's my biggest problem in my head, is grasping that, because money's all right, but is money all right when you have no life and it's just an all right check? No. And I talk a lot about money, but money is important. But it's also, I'm not that happy within all that crap as well. Like, why would I be happy with knowing that thought process and me continuing doing those hours, doing this, and then what? Stuck.
Yeah. It's
with
a
the camera. With the camera. I'm stuck with a camera. Like, like I'm stuck with being good, not it being out there. Not me not being out there. Me not living the life that you should be. Like, you, like, how dope is that you're gonna go to New York? Like, yes, hell yes, by far.
Yeah.
Like, you're taking that step, you're doing that for you. I gotta be able to do that for me. Susan gotta do whatever for her and her 40 children, like, whatever. But it's where I'm stuck in my head, is keep on going. You tell yourself that. I have a thing where I wrote down it's like the 13 things. I wrote down 13 things because I was just, I guess, in my feelings, but wanted to write down. There's a board in my room, and I wrote down with pencil or marker, and it's like, what are the 13 things I should look at every day before starting my day? Some days I read it, some days I don't. My days that I read it are perfect, because, like, I tell myself, do your best, be a better man for babe, be a better for my girl. You're gonna buy a house, you're gonna have a better job. You can't be mad at things you can't stop.
Like control.
That you can't control. It looks better on my board.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Like, in all honesty, that stuff helps. And those weird things that I thought, like, back in the day when you first met me, you'd be like, you wrote down on a board and you read it every day. Yes, I do. Now I do. But it's better things, better people making, like me being a better person. That's what
you being a better you and the best version of you that you have control of.
Yeah.